Hi, Aaron, this is Jabran Samuel. I'm 38 years old and I have been into real estate for over 15 years. And for the last 10 years, I'm doing wholesaling and I'm working with investors. So I have sold over 200 properties in my last 10 years and I made a lot of money. A few of the checks I remember, like in December 2024, I made like over $10,000. Usually I make $5,000 to $6,000 every month, which is good enough for me, and I'll be very helpful to my teams. So easy way for me to find the motivation is like asking open-ended questions, very simple questions, right, which makes a perfect sense and easy for the seller to open up why exactly they're looking to sell it, right? So if the motivation is just a price, so you know it's probably not the right fit and not the right person for me to talk. And the other thing is, like, if they're not gonna sell it now, what exactly their next step? Okay, this is what I actually get them talking, and I figure out, like, what are their pain points and what exactly they want to do. One of the situation I want to share with you, I made um, a good deal. I locked the person, the seller, under a contract for $185,000, and I signed the contract for $200,000 or for 45 days. So seller wanted to move to another state in next 60 days. He found a very nice job and he has to move in next 60 days. So I asked the seller, is like, okay, Mr. Seller, we be able to close it in 45 days just because we have a good pool of investors. And most of the time we present the offer to our own investors first before we present it to, you know, outside the office. So if you're able to sell it in 45 days, do you think that's going to be good for you? I said, good. So the house was like in a good shape. It does not require a lot of repairs. And we were easily able to sell the property within 40 days of time. So seller was happy, not just happy. After a few months, he has actually given me two more referrals, which we closed to. So, when you have the right tools, you know, and you have right connections, I think it's going to be more easy for anyone to sell it until the time you lock it at the right price. And your intention is to solve seller's problem, because most of the sellers, they sell because they want to solve their problem, and it's my job is to actually see the problem and come up with a solution. And sometimes the solution is giving them a cash offer, sometimes it does not. So if the cash doesn't work, I try to come up with a creative financing options. So at the end of the day, my goal is like to give them all the options I can and make sure it's like we help the seller. Now, regarding about like Zillow thing, so when the seller sees on Zillow $340,000, for me, it's not a problem, right? Because I run the numbers, it says 310, and the repairs I found is like $40,000. So I explained the seller very straight, Mr. Seller. I try to give you facts and figures so you understand. Zillow tried to purchase properties, between 2019 and 2021, and just because of their own algorithm, they lost 1.4 billion. In 2021, they lost $881 million. So Zillow could be a good start, but it's not accurate, and Zillow does not tell you, the repair values, the repair amount that's going to be deducted from the actual value of the property. So if the investor needs to purchase your house and then no cash, no commissions, no any fee at your end, he or she probably be at 240, 250. But just because we purchase this for ourselves, right? We use our own funds. We have a good pool, a big pool of investors, and we present most of the our contract to our investor first. So we might be able to pay you $7,000 extra, but in order to do that, I want you to sell. I want you to sign the contract today. Okay, so if I offer you $255,000 instead of 245, would you be able to sign the contract today? Because I'll be talking to, once you sign it, I'll be talking to my investor and we'll go for it. So what do you think? And then I say nothing. So I try to keep my conversations very straight, slow, so the investor understand. And I always aim for a win-win situation for the seller and for ourselves. And that's one of the reason I'll be able to build more connection with the sellers and able to do a lot of transactions. Okay, so that's all from my side. I'll be more than happy to show up in the interview and give you more details about myself and maybe show you some of the track records, the statements of all the money I got so far. Looking forward for that. Thank you.